Yes, when we bid a job through IDOT, they have what they call different pay items. That's just their term for it, and it's different items that you need to do. One's going to be, hot mix asphalt, and so under that item, you need to include all the time it's going to take you and how many people and how many pieces of equipment to come up with a price. Mm-hmm. So you do start basically from scratch on everything. On pipe, how long is that going to take? How much material you can need? And that's how we figure the bids. And time is definitely an important element there, as well as how many people and how many pieces of equipment, because that affects the price of what you're going to bid. So we do start with a computerized estimating package that we put in the crews and the equipment and the material to come up with how we're going to bid the project. And in that has all the different time frames for each different section. And then we can take that and turn it into an actual schedule, kind of like a bar schedule. Here's the first item, the next item is here. These overlap days, these are the two items that you're going to need to do at the same time to make sure you get the project done by the end date.
Very good.
So we have that computerized program to do that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Charlie, you say money talks. You talked about people and you talked about time. How about money?
The type of construction that we do is very, very cash intensive. And what I mean by that is that normally the state or a private developer will pay us, every 30 days, every 45 days, every 60 days, depending on the terms of the contract. That means that you have to cash flow that 60-day period. And even if the engineer on a IDOT project would turn in a pay estimate, say on day 15, then in all likelihood you won't get any of that money until day 30 or possibly day 45, because it has to go to their district office, then it has to go to the Central Bureau in Springfield, then it has to go to the treasurer for the state of Illinois for the checks to be cut. Financing is an extremely important aspect of it. We discuss cash flow all the time. As a matter of fact, we had a meeting this morning discussing that very issue. In highway construction in Illinois, you are pretty much at 100% union, and we have been 100% union since the inception of our company. So those wages are negotiated in advance for our non-management people. The management people that we have are salaried employees, and we negotiate with them prior to their employment, and we have health benefits in our company, and we have pension benefits in our company. Some of the people we provide transportation to because they're driving long distances to get to their work. So the cash part of a business is extremely important.
So you need to have a certain amount of money that keeps you going before you get the first check.
Absolutely.
No
question about it, and that's why you need a good relationship with your bank. Having a bank that understands your business. Our business in many aspects is probably not unlike farming. You need a lot of money to put that crop in at the beginning of the year. Then you don't get any of that money until you sell that crop.
Yeah.
In our instance, you need a lot of money to begin that construction project, and then you don't get paid until you produce the product. As an example, our stone that we get at most of our asphalt plants comes from a long distance away, like Kankakee to Mattoon. We bring it in here in railroad cars. Before we start a project, we need 5,000 to 10,000 tons of stone on the ground, because we use the stone faster than we can get it shipped in railroad cars. Well, the stone quarry wants to be paid for that stone before we even start the project. then we start the project, and the state won't pay us until we've completed that portion of the work. So, so in many instances, we are delivering stone as we are today in the month of March, and we won't get paid for that product in probably May or early June.
And usually, do they have any retainage from, or percentage they retain from what you do? For example, day 15, they don't pay you all you did, but minus 15% or something?
Every governmental project we have has retainage, and it's set out in the contract, and it'll be normally something like 2% at the beginning of the project, and then reduces to possibly 2% at the end of the project. But even major commercial projects have normally some retainage aspect to them, and that's to assure completion, that the contractor just doesn't get paid on a Friday and leaves the job.
Holly, do you have any story to tell us, any challenge that you have seen that needed some extra attention? And
Oh, I think every project probably has its own challenges and its changes that need to be done. Normally it starts out, you bid the project. This is one that I bid, and I don't bid all the time, so this is one that I thought that I just knew everything about the project, and especially being somebody new, I really should have known better. But I bid the project, and I went down there and looked at it, and we got the project, and we get about a week into it, and IDOT, it was an overlay project, which should have been relatively simple. We were going to patch and overlay part of Route 51 and down outside of Vandalia, and we get down there and realize that right before we're getting ready to start the project, that the asphalt plant had gotten struck by lightning, so part of the motors wouldn't work, and so that was, we're scrambling around to get the plant fixed before we can start the job, and we're on a time crunch with IDOT because they have so many working days, and with a working day project, you really need to work when the weather's nice, because they will give you some concessions, but basically they want the project done by a certain date because they have their schedule. So there's always something like that. I mean, that you think everything's going to go smooth, it's going to be a 2-week or 3-week project, and it never seems to end up that way.
Murphy's Law.
And Murphy's Law, kind of, yeah. But that's why you need good project managers and good people. So if the people have the skills that we see they would need to handle a situation like that, those are the people that we want to hire to get us through that, because it's never exactly how the plans say a project's
the flexibility and
you need the flexibility, you need the planning, the communication, and the foresight to say, okay, this is step one, we need to get this done, so here's how we're going to have to rearrange. So,
Charlie, do you have something to share with us? 50 years?
Yes, and really what I want to share is something that we've just been doing the last 2 or 3 years, and something that I think we're going to see more of. We've had 2 projects within the last 3 years that have required night construction, and that's something that's different for us. One of the projects required us to repair a bridge 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. Now, the state didn't require that schedule, but in order to get it done in the time frame, we had to do it that way. It was a bridge that was very critical, had to be done half at a time, required a concrete overlay. We actually, in our scheduling, came to the conclusion that we were going to have to go in and repair the first half, put down an asphalt overlay on it at our expense, flip over to the second half because of issues involving temperature and when you could pour the concrete overlay.